Every day, I am getting calls, emails, and setting up meetings with subscribers from YouTube, from you guys, wanting to know more about how to purchase a business when you already own a business. The easiest way to scale your business is by buying an already profitable business. Don't start a new business or a new location, buy a profitable one instead. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why buying a business when you already own a business makes things go faster and the easiest way to double or even triple your net worth. Let's get to it. Everybody, welcome to my channel. I am your host, Leo Landaverde, business broker and commercial lender, helping you buy and scale a profitable business. If you are a small business owner looking to increase your wealth by buying a profitable business, or if you're an employee looking to get out of your job and becoming a CEO of your own company by purchasing a profitable business, you are in the right place. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell and you'll be notified every Thursday when a new video comes out. Here are the 5 reasons why when you already own a business, buying another business is so much easier. It puts you on the fast track. So, ready for this? Number 1, in most cases, it will help you satisfy the net worth requirements from a lender. Let me explain. So when you are buying a business, there are 3 components, and I've discussed this in other videos, the trifecta of actually buying a business, but it's being financed by a bank, and that is, 1 is the cash flow from the business itself. Number 2 is you, the buyer, your management experience, your net worth. And 3 is the collateral piece that ties it all together, what lenders call the perfecting of the debt, the security instrument. So when you already have a business, and if I am assuming the working assumption is that you actually have a profitable business to begin with. Because if you own a business right now that is losing money, why are you looking to buy another business if the business you have doesn't demonstrate that you're actually making money? So I'm talking to those of you who are running a business that it is profitable, that has a good history of growth. It doesn't have to be huge profits, but if your bottom line is at least 10% or more, and you're filing your tax returns on time, and you have your trailing documents, you understand what's going on in your business, you're an engaged CEO, etc. What I'll be looking at is your balance sheet. Your balance sheet will tell me your business net worth, which is the difference between your assets minus your liabilities is going to be equaling your equity. So when we're looking at the strength of a buyer and the net worth, that equity piece is very critical to satisfy the net worth requirements from a lender, because the lender is going to see if you have cash in the bank in AR and it's substantially higher than the accounts payable and other current liabilities that you have, then you're going to have a delta, and that delta, we call it working capital. That working capital is critical. That working capital translates into net worth for you and the personal financial statement side of things. And I don't have anything to illustrate, but if you watch my videos, you know that I keep talking about these things: personal financial statements, your own net worth, your statement on net worth, your personal, your debt service coverage ratio, all of those things that I talk about. So if you already own a business, you are already on the fast track to really satisfy a lot of the net worth requirements. Because if you don't have a business, what you will probably need to satisfy it is you're going to have a home. You're going to have a house, and you're going to have to pledge some of that equity in that home to satisfy some of the net worth requirements. Now, the higher the loan, and the SBA goes from anywhere from $30,000 to $5 million loans. The higher the loan, the higher the net worth requirements, hence the higher the collateral. So if you have a business that is doing about $3 million a year in revenue, and you have some good working ratios, and you're buying another business that is $3 million as a like for like, and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to buy a business because rather than starting another location 100 miles away, I'm just going to look to buy one of my competitors. So in that case, a lot of the net worth requirements are going to be pretty much the same. So you're going to be actually doubling your balance sheet. So that's why it's critical, or not critical. You don't really need to own a business to buy a business, but if you own a business already, it does help. Number 2, It demonstrates your management experience when you already own a business. Now, again, we're talking about you running a successful business. So why is the management experience important? Every time I'm talking to buyers, right now I got buyers coming to me, from all walks of life wanting to buy a profitable business. Great. All right. So if they don't have a business already, I ask, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your resume. Are you even, are you in LinkedIn? Do you have a resume? If you're a working professional, you should have an updated resume. Resume is very, very important because resumes to me demonstrate management experience. Management experience is critical for you to be able to get a loan because risk, it's mitigated or lessened by the more experience that you have in running an operation or running anything. It doesn't have to be like for like. It doesn't have to be, you have 10 years worth of, managing a heating and air conditioning business and you want to buy a staffing company. The experience, the management experience, or the more closely related to the industry buying, the better it is. But management experience is something that I'm seeing a lot of people don't have. If you just got out of college and you have zero management experience and you want to buy a business, you're going to have a hard time getting qualified because your resume is not there, your management experience is not there. But if you already own a business, that management experience is embedded. If you are the CEO of your own company already, you want to increase your wealth by buying a profitable business, well, that is going to be demonstrated by the business you already own. I hope that helps. Number 3. It hedges your bets and diversifies your wealth. What do I mean by that? So say you own a restaurant, and if you own a restaurant during COVID, you had an upstream battle. Although some restaurants owners I know were able to thrive during the COVID years, 2020 and 2021. But let's just say you own a restaurant, and God forbid something like this was ever to happen again at a global level. Well, how do you hedge your bets? How do you protect your wealth? Well, you will want to buy a business that is not directly in the restaurant business, something that is, when something happens in the economy, some industries do better than others. So hedging your bets means you're going to buy in an industry that tends to do better when the restaurant business is not doing well. It may be that you're buying a service business, a manufacturing business, a logistics business, anything that is not a restaurant business. So what it does, it diversifies you. You're hedging your bets. That's the whole point of a hedge fund. Do you need help with buying a business or even selling a business? If you do, I would love to help you. I am actually engaging buyers and sellers throughout the country, so this is the right time. All you have to do is drop me a comment below and I will reach out to you, or you can just send me an email. My email address is in the content section of this video down below. Let's connect. Those who, the terms that you hear in Wall Street as a hedge fund is, if you're going to make a very aggressive investment in this one area, which is a very high potentiality of actually failing, well, how do you hedge? How do you protect that bet by doing something that is investing in another area, in another sector that is very, very safe, that is going to counter the risk that you're taking? Same thing when you own a business. You want, if you're looking to have a diversified portfolio of companies, if you want to keep doing this, you don't want to be all your eggs in this one industry, because if that industry tanks, then you're in trouble. Okay, so that's why I think you think about it. If you are say for instance you're in electrical, it seems to be very hot, the electrical contracting business, and this is doing very well. What other ancillary businesses that are 1 degree or 2 degrees away from it would be good for you to complement your business that would do well even if the economy went upside down? So it's something for you to think about. Number 4, you may be able to benefit from economies of scale of the combined businesses that you buy. Now, economies of scale is something that we've been hearing a lot about, post-COVID. It's with the whole crash of the logistics and the supply chain. What some people are doing is, how do you gain more control of your vendors? How do you get more control of the entire supply chain? If you're in the manufacturing business, what can you control that is going to give you some more leverage when you're trying to get your products or your raw fruit products from elsewhere into the US? But also the economies of scale may be on technology. Now, let's say you have a company that you're going to have more purchasing power because you're in the industry and you actually have twice the revenue. So you bought a company that is doing 5 million in revenue, and you're going to have a company that is doing another 3 million in revenue. So you have the aggregate of $8 million in revenue, and you have the payroll that goes with it. Now, you're going to be purchasing now for two companies. What breaks, what discounts, what relationships? How can you leverage now the larger purchasing power into driving the cost down for your newly acquired company and then cross-pollinize it across your other business? That's how companies go to become national players, because the higher your purchasing power, the more attention, the more breaks that you're gonna get from the largest players. So it's a great thing that you need to know as you're growing, because you have more purchasing power means you can acquire more at a cheaper rate. And last but not least, number 5, it may lead to a 0 potential down payment option for you. Yes, you heard that right, 0 down payment when buying a business. Now, people come to me all the time and say, Leo, I know these gurus out there that are promising you, that I can actually do 0 down payment. I can negotiate it with the seller, and they're going to carry 100% of the purchase price at a discounted rate, and they're going to give me the keys to the business, and no money out of pocket. I don't know where that comes from, but the reality is I've never seen it happen for somebody who doesn't own a business and has marginal credit try to buy a business with 0 down. Now, that's not my expertise. Now, my expertise is helping people who actually are qualified to get a loan to buy a business. In this particular case, here is how it works. So say that you do have the net worth, you do have cash in the bank, but you know what? You're gonna use OPM. You're gonna use other people's money, even if it means for the down payment. So let's just pretend that this is you're running a successful business and you're really having a great percentage falling to the bottom line. Your earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, the short is EBITDA. It's healthy. You're making, say, 20 cents on the dollar. So follow me so far. You're making 20 cents on the dollar, 20% EBITDA on your business. You have good credit. You've been running this business for 5 years. You got a good, credit score of 720 and above. You own a home. You have a nice, clean personal financial statement. Everything is looking good. And say you have $200,000 in the bank. Enough to put 10% down for a $2 million other purchase. So you would double, say, right? You would double your net worth, and you would double your business, double employees, etc., but double your cash flow. When you're reviewing the financials for this business, and let's say that this business that you're looking to acquire is priced right. It's priced anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 times seller discretionary earnings, or 3 to 4 times EBITDA, whichever way you look at it. The difference of which is a subject for another video, but usually most smaller businesses that are less than $500,000 in EBITDA are purchased by SDE calculations anywhere from 2.5 to 5 times, depending on how big it is. Anyway, so say that this has a strong tax returns, history, performance, the KPIs are good, the working capital is good, the current ratios, everything looks right, the cash flow is good, and you know what? When you're running, because it's priced so well, and you guys have seen me doing these calculations that I do in the workbooks on the cash flow calculators, and it has so much cash flow that the debt service coverage ratio on this is at least 1.5 times to 1. The bank feels good about the deal. It's, there's no skeletons in the closets. There is no blemish on the business. It's just a solid business that's been operating for a long time with great equity and with great brand in the market, great goodwill. So if you connect the two, that you have a strong business that is producing strong cash flow, you're a strong buyer with a strong business, and even though you have the money to put the 10% down on this purchase, once everything is put into into a workable calculation, and you amortize the loan, say there's no real estate involved, and it's a 10-year amortization at the current rate, and it's a 7(a) loan, etc. The bank may say, you know what? This is a cash flow neutral deal. This is a very little risk. There's, you have a successful operator who wants to just add up. If we have plenty of cash flow from the deal to cover the debt, besides he's producing great cash flow for his own business. The global debt service coverage ratio at 0 down makes sense. The business debt service coverage ratio makes sense. I've seen it happen. Only when you have a business buyer who happens to be a small business owner himself to have 0% cash flow. And in fact, I've seen it happen when the actual lender will say, you know what? We're going to throw in a little line of credit for good measure to kind of get you kickstarted with your new business. Not only will they give you the money for the loan, they may actually give you additional capital for working capital, so you can be fine with your new acquisition for the first 6 months. What gives, right? So those are the 5 reasons why buying a business when you're already on a business makes total sense. Thank you for watching. For a limited time, I'm giving away my cash flow calculator, which is actually becoming a pretty robust workbook because I'm making tweaks every day. This is a tool you're gonna need to really calculate the cash flow on any deal up there for sale, especially if you're gonna look for financing to get the deal done. All you have to do is click on the link below, and this workbook is yours to keep for being my subscriber. Thank you very much and I hope you enjoy it.